Hey, what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today we're doing the we're doing the fantasy heavyweight tournament rankings. As I'm going to be discussing my number 30 heavyweight based on my point system, the former IBF heavyweight champion of the world, Charles Martin of the United States. Now, before we get into that, if you could smash the like button, leave a comment, or subscribe to the channel, I really do appreciate any and all support that I can get as I continue to build my channel here. So Charles Martin wasn't a bad, well, you know, 6'5" guy. He entered you know, he really got lucky that Tyson Fury retired when he did back in 2015, 2016. He really hadn't done much of anything. He was undefeated. He had a draw in 2013 early in his career. That was the only minor setback that he had. There really wasn't anybody to speak of that he fought that you could be like, oh, okay, you know, this guy's on his way. And then somehow he worked his way to the number 2 spot in the IBF. And when Tyson Fury in 2016 decided to retire instead of rematching Vladimir Klitschko, all the titles went vacant, all the 3 titles that he held. So at the time, Vyacheslav Glasgow was an undefeated number 1 ranked contender, and Charles Martin was a number 2 contender. And these two guys would go at it for the vacant IBF title. A lot of people were upset about it, but most people felt Vyacheslav Glasgow was going to win the fight. But in the 3rd round, he would suffer an injury. I think it was a knee injury, and was forced to pull out of the fight. And Charles Martin, by TKO in the 3rd round due to an injury, was just like that, the IBF heavyweight champion of the world. Then, about less than 3 months later, he would put that title on the line against undefeated Anthony Joshua of the United Kingdom. He would go to the United Kingdom to fight him. People wanted to see if Joshua was the real deal, you know, and wanted to see him capture a world title. And just like that, in the 2nd round, he would pummel Charles Martin with a 2nd round knockout and capture the IBF title. Charles Martin would return, winning a couple fights in 2017, and then would lose a decision to Adam Konaki in 2018. He would return in 2019, and between 2019 and 2020, he would win 3 in a row, capped off with a nice 6th round TKO win over former world title challenger Gerald Washington. That led to a showdown with Luis Ortiz in January of 2022, where he would get stopped in a fun fight with Ortiz. He would return later in 2022 against Devin Vargas and would stop him in 4 rounds, and then would return 10 months later in July of last year, 2023, against Jared the Real Big Baby Anderson, and would suffer a decision loss, but would be competitive in that fight. So Charles Martin, I mean, to me, is the definition of a paper champion. It's not to say he wasn't a decent fighter, 6'5", southpaw, but he really got lucky to even get a title shot, and then he was even luckier. Well, I mean, Glasgow wasn't an overwhelming favorite. We don't know how the fight would have played out, but he won the fight based on an injury, a TKO injury. I mean, talk about dumb luck. And then just carried the belt for a couple months before being destroyed against Anthony Joshua. So, you know, I mean, he was a world champion. He hasn't come back to do much. He's still banging around, but I really don't see Charles Martin doing much, you know, in his career as a you know, to get back in the mix. But hey, he did win a world title, and he's part of this tournament, and I'm interested in seeing if he can make it out of the 1st round. So that's it. That's what I got. That's my number 30 heavyweight for my interactive heavyweight tournament that we are doing to determine the best heavyweight of this millennium. Number 30 Charles Martin. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, leave a comment, or subscribe to the channel. I appreciate any and all support. This is True Boxing. You've been hit with the truth.